Hi, mein Hase. Hi, everybody. So, hang on. Just quickly. Right with you. Okay, here we go. Hello, my friends. Hey, guys. Thank you for joining me. Better put it to the side before it drops into the water. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hi, Sarah. My name is Angela. I am the owner and creative energy from Elfen and Helden. I'm a WoodUbend retailer over here in Frankfurt in Germany. Hallo, liebe Ute. When you join me, just let me know where you're watching from. Say hi to me. Hi, Nina. Thank you for joining me. And just let me know where you're watching from. I'm nosy. And what time it is. It is 8 p.m. over here in Germany. So wherever you're watching from, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. So I'm happy that you're there. If you haven't done it yet, guys, I've put the link to my Facebook page into the comments, and I highly appreciate if you pop over there, leave me a like there, and hit the bell so that you get noticed when I do my hashtag Master of Disaster Lives. You know, it's never boring, always something happens. So however, today we are working on this shoe cabinet I've got standing here. It's on the side because we're going to work on the side on this piece, and we're going to work on the spacers. This piece has got some spacers which are gonna go, I'm going to show you this one, which are gonna go, there's like 4 of those spacers, and there's like a glass top basically laying on top of there at the end. So as those are pretty boring, as you can see, I decided I'm going to enhance them with a little bit of WoodUbend, because none of my pieces can go out without any of those gorgeous, beautiful WoodUbends. So guys, if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If you watch replay, put hashtag replay into the comments so that I know that you've been there. If you have any questions, then tag me, Angela Bailey, so I know that you've had a question, or just send me a PM. So I'll be happy to help you. So, for those who don't know WoodUbend are made out of wood, and they come in hundreds of different trims of different widths. They come in thousands of beautiful ornaments, in big ornaments, small ornaments, and the biggest advantage of the WoodUbend ornaments and trims is that they are solid when they are in a cold state. They behave like wood. You can drill them, you can saw them, you can carve them, you can break them when they're fragile, obviously. But you can rejoin them also without even noticing that they've been broken, which is absolutely fantastic. Hallo, liebe Anja. Hallo, Karina. So they are absolutely amazing, and they're so easy to work with. And today we are working with a trim because I want to do this rope type of around this spacer, and this is going to be painted. You can paint the WoodUbends beforehand, you can paint them afterwards. If you paint them beforehand, make sure you use flexible paint, because especially when you bend them around edges and stuff like that, and you don't have a flexible paint, the paint will crack, you know, not the WoodUbend, the paint will crack. So to avoid that, just use a flexible paint. I'm using tonight the Posh Chalk pigments in copper, and I'm going to dilute them with the Posh Chalk infuser. That's what we are going to do. And we're going to apply the WoodUbends with a regular wood glue, a good quality wood glue, and you can apply WoodUbends onto just anything, onto wood, onto furniture. You can put them onto plastic, onto glass, onto metal. There's nothing you can't adhere them to. And yeah, that's the great thing. And you can paint them with any paint you can think of, you know. You can stain them. As I said, they behave like wood. You can stain them. So I'm going to bring you a little closer. You don't need to see me. I want to see what I'm doing here. I'm going to have a sip of coffee because I didn't have that yet. Anja just reminded me. Thank you. So, put the coffee to the side before
before I put my brush in there. So this, yeah, we're going to come to the board later. I'm going to drop you a little down now that you can see the table a little better, and we go from there. So when you warm the WoodUBends up, they get nice and bendy. That's when they get in the state where you can move them easily around. I've got a heat gun here, but you can use a hairdryer, you can use an embossing gun, you can put it on a griddle. I usually do that. I don't have one here tonight because I'm just working with the trims. And this is a Sim trim. This is a Sim trim TR0037, which is one of their thinner trims, and it is very, very pretty. So this is going to go around this spacer like a rope, basically like I've already done here. That's what it's going to be at the end. And then we're going to paint that with the pigments. So let's get going. I should put everything out of the way I don't need. I should get my baby wipes close because I know myself. So I've got, this is a little bit of a leftover. I'm going to use up also from the first trim I've used for those ones. And whatever things are left over or something like that, just keep them, never throw them. You never know when you're going to use them. So this is this was cleaned, but this is wood. This was painted. I'm not bothering to do anything else with it. I don't need to sand it or something like that. I'm going to stick it on there straight away. So I'm going to prepare my spacer. I'm going to spread the WoodUBend, the wood glue onto that spacer and go from there. Put it here. And where's I'm going to spread it out just with a brush. This is like a cheap chip brush, so I'm just spreading it out evenly onto the spacer. You can put it onto the WoodUBend first. When I work with ornaments and stuff like that, I usually put it onto the WoodUBend first. When I work with trims, I found it easier to put it on the project and put the trim on then basically afterwards. So this is something I would need. A third hand would be helpful, but I'm sure we're going to go easily like that. So now I'm going to heat that up. They are very light, as you can see. So they're almost like blown away by that heat gun. And the thinner your WoodUBend is, the quicker it's warmed up. You can see it's already moving apart. So then I'm going to start at the bottom here, and I'm just going to lay that around. You can see it's nice and bendy, so you can drape that around this this shape. So get that on there. And this is basically giving the whole piece, a little bit more of interest. They are going to, this is already cooling down a little bit. They need about the same time to cool down like they need to heat up. So I'm just going to move those a little further down so that it's right, starts right at the beginning of that spacer. Make sure. And then I'm gonna come in, clean my fingers first. Got glue all over. So hi Jill, hi Becky. Bonsoir Wilfried. So now I'm going to start with the new trim. They're about from the length 2.15 meters. So They go a pretty long way. Pick it up again also. Nice and warm. Probably now it's warm, too warm. Probably going to burn my fingers again. I'm pretty good at it also. So I'm gonna start just, you can see, you can just like unfold it easily. So and I'm just going to continue those. Just wrap it further around, right up to the top. Just going to twist that because this is going to be otherwise. There you go. So when you feel it's stiffening up again on you, because as I said, they need about the same time to cool down, like they need to warm up. Just warm it back up. Carry on until we are at the top. And then we'll go from there. So at the end, you can cut it off, you can break it off, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to snap that now. So because that's cooled down, I'm just going to snap it and make sure got nice contact. There's the surface of the whole thing. You can reheat it if you want to. Just going to heat up my. That's a bit of a mess now. I'm going to bring it back into easier to work with shape. So keep it in a coil. Keep your trims in a coil. They're a lot easier to work with. So having this back up also, because I just want to give it a little bit more of a, there's one area where it's not really adhered, so I'm going to stick a little more glue in this area just to make sure it sticks in there. Go there, and go there. Go, and there we go. So just hold that down for a second. So this is cooling down, and when it's cooled down, it's in it gets good French. My French used to be very good. My French used to be very good. I've done my first level at school with in French. But this is ages ago, guys. I'm an old cow now, so I've lost all my French. I'm sorry. Apologies for that. So I always feel it's polite to address the people in their mother tongue when they arrive. But really appreciate you being here. So that's done. So now the last one. Doing the same thing. Applying WoodUBend onto that piece, spread it out evenly. Make sure you have enough glue on there so it's going to stick and not too much that it's like spreading out everywhere. I'm very good at doing that also because I'm a lot of times a little generous with all things, whatever I do. But this is I rather have too much than not enough. Everything which squeezes out on the sides you can just take off with a damp cloth, or if you have like intricate ornaments you just use a damp brush or something like that. this is helping you to get the glue off, because wood glue is water-based, so that's easy to handle. It's easy to handle. So now I'm going to warm my trim back up. Nina, you know, I always do tricky things. Sometimes trick myself, as you know. Sometimes trick myself. So, get nice and warm and bendy. And do the same thing basically. Let's start on here. And hang on. Hold that down. Start wrapping it around. When you have like the first rows, you've won. They are the tricky ones, but after you've done them, you're good to go. Because then you have like, you can touch the trim, and you don't have to touch like the glue on the project itself. So just wrap it around, basically just like a rope. This behaves like, you know, like a normal rope now. Easy to use. Just make sure I'm starting right at the bottom, moving it a little down, and then twisting it around, twisting it around. So this is going to look then at the end totally different. Not a boring, just like a boring wooden piece anymore. So I'm not worrying also about having the wood glue on my fingers. Just snap that off. So squeeze those together. If there's something hanging over on top, I'll just use some sandpaper to get it even on the top. And this is going to be painted anyway. So done. Done, done. So here we go. Okay, so they're all done now. And as I said, keep your trims in a coil. I'm going to, this is a little messy now, too spacey. So I'm just warming that back up. Roll that up a little better. So there we go. Okay. So now they're back in the coil. Let that cool down that way, and there we go. Okay. Becky, das sind die Abstandshalter für den Schuhschrank, wo die Glasplatte oben drauf kommt. Und die habe ich jetzt mal so ein bisschen aufgepimpt, weil die, how do I put it? Put it there, not in my coffee. Weil die, ja, einfach so langweilig sind. So, okay, now we're gonna come, put my heat gun down. We are gonna come to the pigments. So, come to the pigments, put the glue away. There we go. Come to the pigments. I've just got like a little glass jar. Those are the pigments. I've got a plastic bag on top, so it's easier to open up. It's just like a liquid. See, it's just like a liquid you use. It's perfect for, just put that into the water. Off you go. So the pigments by Posh Chalk. They are, oh, there's not much left. You can see copper is my favorite color. There's not much left. So those are the pigments in copper. The pigments in copper, or the pigments anyway, they come in beautiful colors, in different golds and stuff like that. And they are in the powder form. So you basically put them in a separate container. And the good thing about it is you can control yourself how rich you would like to have the mixture. You know, if you want to do a wash, or if you want to have like a good coverage, this is basically what you can control yourself. And there we go. So, and I always put my pigments in first, and then I apply my infuser on there. So you can already see, as soon the liquid hits the powder, it gets like liquid metal. This is so gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to use probably a little more, not too much. Now, so then I'm going to grab just a brush and mix it up nicely. As I said, if you want to have it thicker, for example, when you do stenciling or something like that, and you want to avoid bleed through, you make the mixture a little thicker. If you only want to have like a hint of the stuff, you can make it a little thinner. So this is basically completely up to you. So look how shiny that is. That is so pretty, Instagram. Check it out. Check it out, guys. So I think, okay, I think there is, no, can you see that? There is a tiny bit going over the top of the spacer. So this is not going to lay on properly onto the surface later on. So I'm just like carving that one off. It's cooled down now, so you can carve it. Use a sharp knife. This is not very sharp anymore, but this is gonna go. You can just like scrape that down. Scrape that down. Make sure you don't cut yourself. My followers are probably already like dialing 911, because as I said, I'm the master of disaster and sometimes a lot clumsy. So that one is fine. Sand the edges off so that it's nice and clean. As I said, you can just like treat it like normal wood. So now it's like a beautiful finished flat bottom. I'm just going to check the other ones. This one is fine. This one is, there's a little bit here. So same thing. Cut that off. Cut that off. Obviously it would be easier without that screw, but I left that screw in there for now. It's easier for painting. I have got something to hold on to. So that. This is just like a sanding sponge. I just want to make sure that it's like right, sand it down to the bottom there. And same thing here, a little bit too high, gone a little bit over the top there. So just carving that off. That's fine here. And the bottom is fine. A little bit of sanding, that there's no sharp edges. There we go. Finished. All dangerous to move out of the way before something happens. So now I'm basically grabbing my pigments and I am applying them onto my WoodUBend. Look at that, look how shiny and beautiful that is. And the coverage. So those things have been, this almost looks like copper wire now. And we're going to work with some black patina on there also, just to give it a little more depth at the end. So there we go. All around, all around. Make sure I hit all the areas. So this is going to be fine after one coat. So I've oh, Sharon, that's a newbie. That's great. So sometimes it is do as I say, not as I do. But if you have any questions, I'll be very happy to help you. So there's so first one done. Second one, just apply the pigments. Made, as I said, the mixture thick enough or rich enough to cover the whole thing on the first coat. If you didn't, either you and you don't want to do 2 coats, you can add a little more of the pigments and go from there, or you just do a second coat, you know. There's, so, and the good thing is when you use the infuser, it's basically behaving also like a top coat, so you don't need to seal it afterwards. The infuser is also water-based, so there's no VOC free. So it's there's no smells around. So may have to mix a little more. I think I just didn't do enough, but rather mixing up a little more than having too much at the end. So I've just used it up. Okay, I'm going to mix a little more. Same thing. Go from here. Oops. Let's see. Probably don't need that much anymore. I'm covered in copper also. So I'm not worried, you know, having it on my fingers and stuff like that, because I can wash it off later. Yes, go, just a tiny little bit. Mix it up again. Make sure you diluted all the powder in there. And then you just carry on. So I'm painting with the trim. So the brush goes easier into those gaps. And I'm using an artist brush with natural bristles because they're a little harder than the synthetic bristles, which makes it easier to touch up all the lower details of those WoodUBends also. Look how shiny that is. So pretty. So last one. Going right around. Touching everything up. What's the time? Half an hour. Good to go. Good to go. This is just about going to last. So just about. I'm not going to mix up anymore. That's fine. It's fine. Okay, last one done. Let that dry for a second. Put that straight into the water so it doesn't dry into my brush and on that little jar. Close the diffuser now up also. My plastic bag on there. And so done. So those are, this is the patina by Posh Chalk. This is oil based now, and this is basically like a gilding wax. This is black, pitch black. It's got it is oil based, but it's got a quite beautiful smell to it. So I quite like it. So so I'm just they are drying really quick anyway. But anyhow, I'm going to enhance that with the heat gun. So when you use it, just let it dry on their own. Let them dry on their own. As I said, they dry really quick anyway. They're really dry. So now I've got a baby wipe close to me. Even they are water-based, you can basically take it off with a baby wipe also, or just like a clean rug or something like that. Here. Got some paper towels also. I'm using again an artist brush to go into those details of those spaces now, and just giving it a good coverage. You're probably thinking, "Oh no, that looks ugly now." It does. Trust me, it'll look quite amazing in a minute. So I'm making sure that I'm hitting that it goes right into all those crevices and stuff like that. Just to darken that up. And don't let it sit. Work in sections if it takes too long, because this is eventually going to dry onto you. So and then it's harder to get off. If I use it on chalk mineral paints or something like that, or paints or chalk paints, or any paint which is like open pores, I seal them off beforehand, because then I can control it easier. I like to control the things, you know. If I need more on there, I can always put more on there, but I would like to control that, because an open porous paint is just going to grab onto the oil, and you'll have at the end a very grungy type of thing. And also, as I said, don't let it sit too long, because it's basically gonna, there we go. So as I said, use a rag or something like that, and just take it off. And I don't want to have it that shiny at the end. I basically want to have it nice and grungy. And also, as I said, use a baby wipe to clean that a little further off. And I want to have it sit nice in those crevices. So this is nicely aged at the end. So it's all on my fingers also. You can wear gloves if you're sensitive. I'm not. Just take off as much as you want. Can do that up to a stage till you're happy. And I want to have it like a natural aged look basically at the end. So this is the difference now. This is the just painted one, and with this one here you can see all the details and crevices a little better. Instagram for you also. So that's the difference. So we do that with all four, and then we can basically apply those onto our project and lay the glass top on there. And then they're going to look totally different than, you know, those boring silver spaces. So you can, you know, if you, for example, if you have like a bottle or something like that, you can, you know, so you can drape those around bottles and things and cover them up. It looks like a robe around. So it's very, very versatile. There's a lot of things you can do with that. Did I miss any questions? Oh, hi, Yvonne. Freezing, Yvonne, why is that? I'm not into Fahrenheit. I always have to Google that. I'm not sure what that means. So taking the main axis off. As I said, those the patinas, they are oil-based, the black one anyway. Posh Chalk also has like water-based ones. They come in beautiful, fancy colors. So, but this one is oil-based. Go. Still, you can wash that off your fingers easily with some soap and water. You know, it's my hands look terrible now, but if you use soap and water, they will be fine. Even when I use the baby wipes, that's it's gonna take it off. So, go. Next one. See if you can apply that onto the project so you can see what it looks like with laying basically the glass top onto it and get like an idea of the whole look. So, and for me, I like to work with the black patina. It looks gorgeous with the brown one also. Gives it a different touch. I find when you work with the brown one, it gives it a more of a vintagey look, and the black, it gives it more of a modern look. Hi, Betty. 26 degrees Celsius. But that's pretty warm. Why are you frozen? Are you ill, girl? Hope you feel better soon. So, as I said, don't let it sit because the patina is gonna dry, and then it's going to be harder to take off the excess, you know. So it's gonna take about all the patinas about 24 hours to dry on your project, and then you can buff it up with whatever, with a brush or with a cloth or something like that. So baby wipe. I like messy things. Do you like messy things? Is it Betty? It's mine. Oh, girl, I'm so sorry. So I just want to show you how easy, this is a baby wipe, which is already dirty. You can just like clean your hands off easily with it. So that's so this, you don't need to worry if you got it on your fingers. It's you're not going to run around and be dirty. So there we go. Quickly, I'm speeding up, speed painting. I watched Solly, she's the master of speed painting, and Sue, she is the crafting queen. They all work so fast. As for me, I feel like a snail when I'm working, but I appreciate you staying with me. So got that covered up, and cover up some more paper towels. I'm using it generous on there because I want to make sure it gets in all those crevices, you know. You could use less, but I want to cover all the crevices of this piece. So that's the reason I'm using it generous. Obviously you can use less, but that's how I have planned it on that piece. But this is supposed to look aged at the end and grungy and not like a clean wire. So my fingers again pretty dirty. Some baby wipe to get a little more off. There we go. That's how I like to have it. So get my fingers a little clean, so don't mess everything up I'm touching now, but it goes really well with the baby wipe. Twister ice lollies, what are those? Oh, hi Dana. Dana, I am just doing some spaces on a shoe cabinet where the glass top is going to lay on at the end. And they've been like boring, silver, plain things. And now they are fancy, aged copper wired, beautiful. So now we're going to apply those. Hang on. Come with me. Come with me. Let's see. Come with me. This is the stencil we've done, or I've done the raised stenciling on the side here. So let's see if we have time to. So I'm just firstly going to take the screws out again. That's the other ones which are going to go on the piece. Quickly. So. Just want you to see what it looks with the glass top on. So it is, Dana. It is. Hi to Italy. How is it in Italy, Dana? How's the weather in your area? I bet it's a lot nicer than over here. So here we go. Just gonna take those screws off. Okay. So now let's see. There's like two I can put in with my tool, and the other two I've got to put in with to it. I can get to it. Make sure I'm having the right one. I need to get on there. I need to put a little pressure on there. So that's on. First one on. And the second. Those screws are so long. I don't know where I think this this piece is gonna go. So I'm not gonna worry to screw those ones completely in. I'm just going to show you basically what it looks like. Just like a tiny little bit. Last one. So obviously I've got to screw those on properly. I'm going to do that later. I want to carry on a little more. Put the glass top on there. There are also some some rubber things to hold that on. Just going to go back in the top. So, there we go. And then when everything is screwed on later, basically the glass top is going to lay on there. So that's basically what the idea of the whole thing is. And they now have got like a nice touch to them. So, okay, my friends. Oh, cool and rainy. Okay. So let's see if there's any questions. Rainy and cold, but it is, the weather is really strange over here as well. It's raining and stuff like that. So this is yeah, guys, I'm going to finish on the WoodUBend page now. I'm going to get that piece finished. So if you want to see how I get enhance those water lilies so you can really see the pattern coming out, just pop over to my page. I'll be on in about 10 minutes to do that, and I'm going to use the Posh Chalk metallic paste in white titanium, and I'm going to do a wash and make this pop. But I don't want to keep WoodUBend anymore. I appreciate WoodUBend very much having me. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. But this piece is going to get finished tonight. So and this is going to be screwed on there. And I really like that. This is going to be perfect with the whole thing at the end. So, guys, thank you so much. My name is Angela. I'm the owner and creative energy from Elfen and Helden. I'm a WoodUBend retailer over here in Frankfurt in Germany. I'm on Wednesdays on the WoodUBend page. Guys, if you want to shop the products, pop over to the WoodUBend page. WoodUBend, did you put the link into the local retailers? Make sure you check out where your local retailer is. Thank you, Anya. Check out where your local retailer is and make sure you get the products from them. If you have any further questions, I'll be right here for you. I'm happy to help.
WoodUBend, thank you having me so much. If you haven't done it yet, guys, pop over to my page, leave me a like. That'll be fantastic. You may also sprinkle this video, which makes me also very happy. And I see you next Wednesday or in about 10 minutes when I'm just like quickly finishing off this site here. So a little bit of magic popping it up. So guys, thank you so much. Bye for now. Cheers.